What's going on, guys? Ankit here. Welcome back to the channel. I still have a couple of exams left, but I decided that because this is the last war of the season, and at the same time I will be changing alliances, I would make a video, or rather I would commentate on my video. So I'm not going to commentate on every fight, except for like 2 or 3 of them. All of them are pretty much simple, straightforward, easy fights with Kingpin. But what I like to talk about is my season stats, my deaths, how many fights I took, and where I'm going. So I guess it just makes sense to start off with the season stats. I counted, and I think I've taken 133 fights this season. I'm not 100% sure, but I think 3 wars were in tier 2 and everything else was in tier 3. I think we were supposed to be in tier 3 this war, but it's not exactly how it always works out, and it was pretty strange. This is it's a good placement. It's just that I have never seen him placed over here, mostly because people would just use Magneto X pre-fight. But that also not needed. So anyways, going back to the season stats, 133 fights, pretty good. And I think I died 2 times. Of the 2 times, 1 time I died because of input issues, where I knew I was clearly dexing, but I kept on having my block up, and it was Footloose Kinetic Transference. Domino got to that SP3 and it was a KO. The first time that I died was against America Chavez on Conflictor. So the funny thing is that in the second half of that fight, it went perfectly and I knew exactly what to do. At the same time, it was also one of the first times I was doing that mini boss over there. So I guess if I go back to that fight, if I have that fight again, I don't think I would be too bothered, or too worried rather. And yeah, those were my 2 deaths. One was mine for sure, and the other one was input issues, but hey, it's a death, so that's 2 deaths. And as for like my item usage, I would mostly only boost in section 2 at the point where I can just take all of my remaining fights until the boss. And outside of that, if I'm taking at least 2 mini bosses in the middle, I would boost at that time as well. Otherwise I won't boost at all in the middle or in the first section at all, because the thing with Kingpin is okay, we'll get back to the boost over there. So this was a very odd placement where they had Power Snack on or they had Warlock on Power Snack. I knew I would not be able to regen a lot, and I knew that this was going to be a bit of a long fight because I don't crit on my specials. Not that he relies on his crits on the specials, but just the fact that that's another part where his damage is missing out. Well, and talking about crits, I just had 5 crits in a row over there, which was pretty good. But yeah, Warlock isn't really hard. He is just annoying. We could have used the Magneto over here. We could have used the King Groot or Venom Pool. But like I said, this was the last war and we wanted to win this. Unfortunately, we are not winning this at this point, where only a fifth of the map is left for both of the teams, and we are down by 4 or 5 deaths. So yeah, that also made me not boost as high. Did I boost this war? I don't know, we'll see. I don't remember boosting for the last half of this war, but we'll see. I know I boost for the next 2 fights, which is Maud, that I really want to talk about as well. It was such an amazing fight. And then there was Penny, which was she's okay. But going back to this fight, you can see that I'm already down 80%. I don't think the Warlock was high sig. He was only 40 or 60. He really needs to be very high sig to actually deal a lot of degen damage. Another thing was that his infections were actually failing my SP1 degens, which sucked a bit, but it is what it is. I think I should have thrown a few more heavies in this fight because that gives me a lot more power. But yeah, he is down over here. And I did lose quite a bit of health, and I'm pretty sure I used a potion, and then I also pop a combat regen boost over here. So let's see, it's a 210k HP rank 3 Ebony Maw. Was he duped? I'm not sure. He was duped. Okay, there you go. So pretty small boost, 15% or 10% attack or 15%, and then 10% lesser champion boost. I think he is running max limber. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he is running max limber, but you can still sneak in 2 light attacks if you're really quick. And then here I just decided, like, hey, I'm just gonna go for full combos, and if he evades, it's fine. He's in the corner, he won't be able to retaliate that well, and I'm gonna gain my raid charges. So look at that, 30 seconds in the fight, and he's below 55% HP, or less than 55% HP, or whatever. You get the point. Now watch this. And there on the block, there you go. That's it. That's the fight. 42 seconds. 42 seconds, Ebony Maw, 210k HP with Kingpin. Not too heavily boosted, like moderate boost. Not even moderate boost, light boosts. I mean, if that isn't damage, I don't know what is. He's genuinely the best skill champion in my mind. It's really hard to beat what Kingpin does. Of course, he has that synergy that makes his abilities even one step ahead. And people think that he needs that synergy. No, he doesn't need that freaking synergy. He does whatever he does right now without that synergy except for power control. And sure enough, that helps you a lot. But when you have 2 extra spots on your team, why the hell would you bring someone else when you can get everything in one champion? So yeah, this Penny is also quite easy. I just gotta hit her block. And yeah, she was on Footloose. I don't know what to say about it. I just found her easy. There's no one really annoying on this node, unless they fail your power lock, reduce the duration, or shrug it off, like Moleman or something. Or your input issues fail and you die to a domino, like I did. Anyways, going back to the boost, so yeah, most of the wars I was just boosted towards the latter half of it, where I used 20% champion boost, 10 or 15% attack, and then 10 or 15% HP. And then of course regularly I would boost invulnerability. Combat regen was the most used, I think. Normally I would also use power snack quite a lot, but because of Mystic Dispersion and a lot of times fighting Ebony Maw, I didn't think that power snack was worth it, or power start 1 boost was worth it. And I think it's going to remain for the next season as well. So yeah, Tigra here, pretty easy fight. I forgot who's next. I Dexter SP2. She isn't really hard, but yeah, she can be annoying. Fat pig versus animal pig. Human pig versus real pig. Yeah, this was pretty easy as well. So yeah, it's been great with this alliance. I'm sure they enjoyed I'm sure they enjoyed having a fun war, a fun season. I hope they enjoyed my company as well. There are quite a lot of people I know. Iron Patriot, I've heard of him. You guys might have heard of him as well. He's a mythic level, title, legend, whatever, you know. Matt Titan, who suggested me to join this alliance as well. Shout out to him. Ghost Dog, whose position I took in BG3. Otherwise, he was the one who was running this path. I'm not sure how many fights he does, but I know he's like also a heavy lifter, or he does a lot of the fights. So shout out to him as well. Hobbit Krom, obviously, he was quite a bit busy this season, so he didn't get that much action. But yeah, King Slayer as well is in my BG. And of course, the officers, so Bella and Nate, shout out to them. Everyone else as well. I don't want to not include everyone, but I don't know everyone's names as well, or even in-game names, so I don't want to make it sound like I'm leaving out people. So yeah, Kingpin is a really, really good counter to Nimrod. And the main reason is that whenever you throw a special, you get rid of the debuff that he places on you, which is amazing, because that's just going to feed your damage. I know a friend of mine was using Hyperion for Nimrod, and he said he almost timed out because Hyperion obviously gains a lot of power, so he's going to have multiple debuffs, and a vast majority of his damage comes from special attacks. So yeah. As to what's next, so I'm going to be moving up to Hellfire Club Kingpin, HC Kingpin Alliance. That's a solid Platinum 1 Alliance, Tier 1, solid, but sometimes it dropped Tier 2 as well, but that's not an issue at all for me. I just really like the challenge in Alliance War, and I have to bite the bullet and be like, okay, I think I'll have to, what do you say? That was my train of thought. Yeah, I think I'll have to bite the bullet and just do Alliance Quest, because if you really want to be up there competitive, that's one of the alliances that actually says that, there are a lot of alliances who prefer doing everything max instead of an alliance who focuses on Alliance War and doesn't focus as much on Alliance Quest. There is Salty Warriors that Iron Patriot told me about, and those guys do map 8 in one BG and 7 in the other 2. But I'm not sure if I'm ready yet for a Masters level alliance. The thing is that I want to take a lot of fights with Kingpin, and I'm sure most of the alliances will not be against me using Kingpin. They do need him, and we almost always see at least one Kingpin in war, sometimes 2 to 3. So, but the issue is that I also like to stick to the same path, which is, I don't mind if it's a new path for me, but I would like to stick to that one. And that's one of the reasons what Hellfire Etsy Kingpin told me that they do, or at least in that BG where I'm going to, they do stick to the same path unless it's clear that a champion might not work on that path, or that player doesn't have the roster for that path. So yeah, AQ Day 4 is running right now. I think by the time we get our season rewards, the final day of AQ would have almost ended, and I will be starting the off-season Alliance War with the HC Kingpin. I don't know if I'm going to post videos. I might just make videos of, or make a highlight reel of some of the hardest fights that I took, like mini bosses or something, and I'll probably post that just so I don't know, just so I have some content, I guess. As for my roster, we are waiting for EOP rewards. The Alliance War rewards, they don't matter anymore because we don't have rank 4 materials in Platinum 3. And I'm also waiting for what do you call that? Compensation, of course, because that would push me over and give me the chance to rank for a 5th champion. And I wanted to do Bishop. However, we know that on 4th of July there is a decent to a good chance that we might get a 3 to 4 random gem. And in case it's mutant, I don't want to, like, of course I can rank up APOC as well as my 2nd mutant, but I don't really want him immediately. Like, I want my next 3 rank 4s to be in this order: Bishop, Scorpion, and then either Omega Sentinel or Wong. Of course, provided I pull the last 3 from the next featured. I'll also be uploading a huge crystal opening. I think I'm going to get easily to 300k shards by the time the next featured crystal arrives. So those 3 are my most wanted. I would like to dupe Omega Sentinel and Wong. Scorpion, if he's unduped, it doesn't matter as much. I mean, I'll still keep on going for that featured, but he's not the biggest deal for me. But the most, like, if I could only select one champion from that pool, that would be Scorpion. Such a monster. I got him as a 4-star, and I took him to 550. My first rank 5 or maxed out 4-star in like 2 years, I guess. What a beast, man. In the beta, I was using suicides, I was using boost, like everything maxed out, and the 550 was doing like 203k SP2 damage. Like, come on, man. If that isn't broken, I don't know what is. So yeah, that's my plan for Alliance War going forward, and the alliances as well. Huge shout out once again to 214PS, Planet of the Symbiotes. It was great being here. Really friendly guys, and if I plan on retiring again or taking a break, I'm definitely coming back here with the Fat Man, of course. Speaking of Fat Man, I'm really excited for the next alliance as well, because I want to see how much weight can this fat guy carry in tier 1 wars. I definitely plan on doing linked bosses, just to make the lives of other people easier, provided that those bosses aren't that hard or something, or impossible for Kingpin. There, I got clipped again. I don't know, I think that was my fault, I guess so. But yeah, I guess I'm running out of words to say. The boss is going to be Sasquatch. Pretty easy fight as well. There aren't too many fights that I'm worried of taking with Kingpin, so let's list them out. Bishop on Hazard Shift, I would never do him. I would do Bishop anywhere else, or almost anywhere else. Oh, I do tank an SP3 here. I don't think I'm boosted. I'm pretty sure I'm not boosted at all over here. Let's see, 92% down to 70%. Is it 70 or 70? No, it was 76%. So that was like 16%. Immediately regen like 4%. So 12%. Whatever, man. Let's see if I was boosted or not. No, I'm not boosted at all. Yeah, so there you go, man. Unboosted Kingpin. Amazing champion. So yeah, I wouldn't take Bishop on Hazard Shift. I would take him almost anywhere else. Maybe not on the boss, because that's a longer fight. I wouldn't take Havoc at all. I wouldn't take Jubilee at all. Who else is there? There was another fight that isn't a mutant that I wouldn't take. It's escaping my mind. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure there's a 4th champion that I knew of, because I know there are like 3 to 5 champions that are really not a good match for Kingpin. And that's actually phenomenal. Like, just having 4 or 5 matches that Kingpin cannot do that well is like absolutely amazing, which is why he deserves that best skill champion ranking. But yeah, this Sasquatch, so he was pretty easy at the start. You will see that he's down to 50% in like a minute, over a minute. But the last 50% took quite a while, and it's not because of his regen. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the Wrath of Tanarak that messed up. But man, look at those intercepts. I love those light attack intercepts with Kingpin, because you see there, I did like 3 hits in while he had that Mystic Dispersion up. Amazing, man, amazing. He shuts down that Mystic Dispersion. Speaking of Mystic Dispersion, the Conduit Global. I'm 100% sure Kingpin is going to shut down the Conduit Global as well, because he shuts down Ebb and Flow Knockdown, which triggers upon knockdown. Therefore, it also means that if he throws that SP1 degen and when he knocks the opponents down, there's a 65% chance that it's not going to trigger Conduit, which is just going to make him even better, or like great option as well. So this Sasquatch wasn't really high sig. I think he was sig 40. I'm pretty sure I checked him. But he was proccing his regen quite often. Look at those intercepts. Man, I love Kingpin's light attack intercepts. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Huge shout out to 214PS once again. Thank you to everyone watching the video also. I know Alliance War videos are not the most enjoyable, but it's great. I'm really thankful for anyone watching him. And if you have any questions, if you need suggestions, if you need any kind of help, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys later.